Hey guys, Lady Liberty Stacker. It is Monday, July 15th, 2019, and I'm back for another shorter video. Just kind of a continuation of the last one I put up. This was a Birmingham Stove and Range BS&R number 7 skillet that I picked up that had a crack in it. This is a 3-notch Lodge skillet number 3. And this one actually is marked. It's got an L at the top. That's how they marked some of the earlier ones. The earliest one only had 1 notch at 12 o'clock. This one has 3 notches at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. But this one here is going to be a keeper. Either I'll sell it or I'll add it to my collection because I've never run into one of these. And I've been collecting cast iron now for about 2 years and selling it. The remainder online, and I've never actually run into a lodge like this one, so that was a treat for me. This one has a crack, and I did the ring test, and the ring test really didn't help. It was covered in rust and crud and old seasoning because I got it from a garage sale, an old town garage sale. So if you want to, for sure, if you don't want a crack, well, that's a gamble. If you buy them cruddy and rusty, there's a possibility that you're going to have a crack. This is the first time, though, in over 2 years that's happened to me. Actually, it's never happened to me as far as I know. So now that I know, I'm kind of going to relay that over to you guys that follow my channel that are interested in learning more about cast iron. Now, this one here I just picked up from an estate sale last week. And let me go ahead and... at first I thought it was an unmarked because the only thing I could see is a 10.5-inch skillet, which is a number 8 on the back. Now there is an R on the handle, and you turn it this way and you see some fine tooling of the original way they manufactured these back in the day, and well-defined pour spouts. It didn't appear to be a Griswold. It is a number 8, and I can sell this. I may sell it online. It spins a little, not a lot, but it's going to be a good cooker, I can tell. It has a little bit of rust on it, some old seasoning. It just needs to be cleaned up. And on the back, you can clearly see what you're looking at. And I didn't notice until just now that there is some writing on it. It's kind of hard to show you. You can see a W, kind of what looks to be a W there. So it may be an unmarked Wagner. I kind of thought it was an unmarked Wagner based on the sidewalls and the pour spouts and the way the handle is. I actually have a Wagner here. Let me turn on the overhead light so we can see a little bit better. You don't see an R, and this is a later one made a little bit later, but you do see that W there. And this says Wagner Ware, Sydney, O. They were made in Sydney, Ohio. This one here just appears to have the Wagner on it, if that's indeed what it is. It is marked. I actually picked it up thinking it was an unmarked skillet because I could recognize that it was a truly good vintage quality. Now at the estate sale, she had 2 other skillets. One was made in Taiwan, I believe, and the other one was a Lodge, a modern Lodge that looked old because she probably had it since the 80s, I'm going to guess. But this one I did pick up. I'm going to go ahead and dump it in the lye bath. But one thing I wanted to caution you guys on, I'm going to give the ring test on this one and give my final thoughts on it. So let me go ahead and do that. Now this one here is the number 7 crack. It's got the crack, if you can see it right there. I can feel it with my finger. But if you hold it up, and that's the ring test, and that's without all the seasoning and old seasoning and stuff on it. I haven't seasoned it yet, but it passed the ring test. It still has a crack. This one here is a little bit bigger, so it's going to sound slightly different. It has a little bit of a ring to it, and there are no cracks in it. And the reason why you can tell is this one doesn't have a lot of built-up seasoning on it. The estate sale that I went to, the woman had a lot of things from a 1970 wedding that she never used. This one she used obviously a little bit, but to get the best, to be more assured that your cast iron is going to be what you want it to be, you know, you're better off getting it when it's not entirely crusty and rusty and just layers and layers and layers of built up seasoning on it. A lot of times people didn't clean them right, so if you don't clean them right and you go ahead and continue using it, that old food will bake right on there, and it's just really gross. So, but at any rate, that's the best way to pick up old cast iron, is when they're dirty and they have some rust on it, but you can at least see the bare bones skillet. Now this one spins a little bit. Now they weren't made for a glass stove top, obviously, but if you put it over here on a flat countertop, it is a flat countertop, it will spin a little, but it's not like a wild spinner, but it does wobble a little bit. That will be disclosed if I do end up selling it. I may keep this one because I don't have a nice number 8 that's like this, but I may sell it. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to go ahead and dump it in the lye bath and see what we got, and I'll come back and show you the results of, you know, after I strip it down before I season it. And probably what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to season this one right along with these two, and this one I might just sell for display purposes only, see what I can get out of it. I don't really have any intention of keeping it. And like I said, I will show you all what it looks like when it's done. I'm probably only going to give it, I may just go ahead and season it right along with these other two because it's not using any more energy in the oven, and get it to look nice. And if anybody wants it from my viewers, any of my subs, you know, I'll be willing to hear any reasonable offers on it, you know, for something that you could cook with it. I mean, it's not, the crack isn't that bad. It's on a sidewall, it's away from a spout, it's away from a handle. As long as you heat it up gradually, it should be fine. But, you know, you take that at your own risk. Or you can just use it as a display piece. This is a truly wonderful piece. It would have been wonderful without the crack. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I just wanted to kind of give you the rundown. You should look for skillets kind of in this condition if you want to make sure they don't have a crack. And very few of them are perfect. Very, very few. But they are vintage, and a lot of them cook very, very well. All right, guys, this is it. Please leave a comment or a question below. And one other thing I want to add before I sign off is I get a lot of questions. People might give me 1 or 2 descriptors of a skillet and they'll say, what is it? Well, I really don't know. On a skillet, especially if you're dealing with something that's unmarked, and this one actually is marked, I believe, but you're going to want to look at the size of the font. You want to look at how the sidewalls are made, how the pour spouts are made, how the handle is made, what the font is like on the handles. There's a bunch of things that go into identifying unmarked cast iron, but I'm going to point you back to www.castironcollector.com. That's the best reference source that I know of that can actually really help you identify unmarked cast iron. So please refer to that. And if you really still don't know after looking at that, I mean, do your research first. Then if you don't know, you can send pictures of the skillet to ladylibertystacker@gmail.com. It's all together, ladylibertystacker@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to try to help you out with that. Okay, again, thanks for watching. Please remember to sub if you haven't before. Give me a thumb up on this video. That way YouTube will suggest it more often if you want to see my videos. And thanks for watching.